Hello YouTube, and I wanted to introduce something extremely special and dear to my heart, which is the Guardian archetype. They are the most wonderful things on the planet. I love them so much. Well, most of them to be precise, and they're two MVPs, DREADSCYTHE and EATOS. Hands down, like, if I was an anime character, I would marry her. Or her, either one. I just love this so much. It's like extremely close to Toons, like very, very close. Like this is better. Like in my mind, this is like the best. I'm going to do a deck profile for you today, and this is not going to be like my usual character deck profiles. This is going to be very special because this is my actual deck that I have made to survive against the meta. Today, like, there's a lot of stuff with, well, after the ban list in November, there's a lot of stuff that went down and a lot of stuff that went up. It gives a lot of decks breathing room. But I think this is going to be actually a relatively nice, I think this is, works out real well. And I'm going to show you my Guardian EATOS / DREADSCYTHE deck profile. Let's start off with the monsters. So you have 3 Guardian DREADSCYTHE. She is really beautiful. So this is pretty much, you need this. This is a definite in the deck. Without this, obviously, you're not going to be able to have a rebuttal play after EATOS is destroyed. You know, it can be balanced and stuff like that and whatnot, but this is extremely hard to get over, and I'll show you how to keep it on the field, regardless of monsters and stuff like that. So, our monsters effects. Then EATOS. Now, we sort of get the best of both worlds when a lot of monsters, either your opponent dumps monsters in the graveyard, or your opponent abuses monsters by banishing them. So it's really, you know, you can decide which one to put into play and which one to protect. Obviously, it's self-explanatory, you know what they do. Well, I'll explain later if you do not know what to do with these guys. So, they're pretty much the MVP of the deck. Then you have 2 KS. Now, pretty much a lot of people I've been seeing just running the 2 Guardians right here, and then like Arsenal Summoner, which adds the Guardians. But KS I found is extremely useful. It avoids Dark Hole, it avoids Regeki. It cannot be targeted by battle, and the only downside is you would need this equip spell right here. Yes, Art of Silence KS to normal summon it or flip or do anything with it, but it has enough attack where or enough defense. Sorry, let's try to show it to you there. 1800, where it should survive 1 attack. It will get flipped by your opponent's battle, and then they can't do anything after that. So this is sort of like your fallback play, just in case you really lose everything and they start to do this. And in that case, then that'll be pretty dire. But anyway, these I think you should run them at 2. Everything in here I've tested out, and it works pretty well. So 2 KS, 3 Arsenal Summoner to grab your Guardians to hand. You need that search power, even if it's like Fiendish Chained or whatever, you know, or Breakthrough. Yeah, you know, it doesn't matter. You run 3 of each of these and you're bound to get one of them. Battle Fader, for when all hope is lost. Pretty much that's what you have to protect yourself. Not only that, but if you get monsters in the graveyard, it's not going to help you out too much on special summoning EATOS, because EATOS needs no monsters in the graveyard to get special summoned. So Battle Fader really helps out with that, because it says it gets banished after the effect of it protecting you from a direct attack. So that's why I love it. And that's the monster count. It's extremely small, I know. Sometimes this deck bricks, but it's actually really nice. So you have Seal Void Calco. Now, the reason why I put this in is because I have a fetish for the Seal Void Calcos. I just think it could be put in any deck and make it amazing. Well, that's a lie, obviously, because you can't, like, just throw it in, like, It it's pretty much you're making your extra deck useless. You run no extra deck in here, so I wouldn't really count on that. But this is pretty much the icing on top of the cake. If you have this out, you have freaking DREADSCYTHE out, and you have EATOS out, there's 3,000 beaters, and plus whatever else because of their equip spells, it's pretty hard to get over. And sometimes I run Fossil Dyna. So usually, since it has an awesome effect where you can't attack the monster with the lowest attack, you have EATOS pretty much in front of Fossil Dyna, and Fossil Dyna, I guess, blocks them from special summoning. So that's really good. Supply squads, 3 of them. I was running at 2, but 3 is actually more consistent because you're going to need that extra draw power. Now, I have decked out with this before, so try to be wise when you're using these. 1 or 2, just the 1 most likely. Because after DREADSCYTHE gets destroyed, you automatically get a draw card. DREADSCYTHE gets a special summon, you have discard fodder, boom. Send. It's just a cycle. Because DREADSCYTHE, once it gets sent from the field to the graveyard at all, period, you get a special summon it. Really nice. Hidden Armories, run them at 3. You definitely need 3 of these. Without this, your deck is going to hurt really bad, and you're not going to have the search power you need. Like, a lot of the times you'll find out that you completely ran out of DREADSCYTHE, and you need that extra attack boost to get for game. So you're definitely going to need these. And these are also pretty much like, they help you switch around your play. So if your opponent has a full field of monsters and you can't attack through, you get the equip spell for piercing battle damage, or you get the equip spell for attacking directly. So that's pretty much what it is. Pot of Benevolence. Now, they're similar to Soul Release versus the fact that it shuffles cards back into your deck, then banishes itself. And this is actually really useful. There's a reason why I don't do 3 Soul Release, is because sometimes you need like Guardian EATOS in the graveyard, and you don't want to just banish everything and then ruin the DREADSCYTHE attack and whatever. Benevolence is just really good. With DREADSCYTHE again, if he gets or if you use too many of his Reaper Scythe DREADSCYTHE, you're going to have no more. But if you activate this, you're going to shuffle them back into the deck, recycle your stuff, and that's really good. Now, so after that, Soul Charge. Now, I'm using a lot of the cards that Raphael is using, but actually, to be completely honest, he knew what he was doing. Soul Charge saves my butt so many times, like, I can either get all my monsters out of my grave, versus, like, Guardian that can't be special summoned, but, all my monsters out of the grave, or special summon EATOS, they, like, bottomless it still gets destroyed, bring out this guy, or pretty much, you know, Soul Charge is all around a good card. Everybody knows that. Dark Hole, I was running it at 2, because the swords is just for fun tech, but 2 Dark Hole, you want to destroy your DREADSCYTHE, destroy all monsters from the field, put them in the grave, and then you automatically have a monster plus whatever times 500 monsters that got destroyed. So, it's really good. So there's a Dark Hole, either a Dark Hole or swords. Because swords is just that, the next level play where you can't do anything else and you just protect yourself. Now, Celestial Sword EATOS. It's a really, really nice card. People abuse banishing, this damages them so hard. Or people who need monsters in graveyards, Infernoids, Heroes, a lot of other stuff like that. They need their monsters in their grave. This hurts them. Same thing with Soul Release. This hurts them. You get to do that. You equip that to your Guardian EATOS, and then you pretty much just boost its attack to 1,000,000, because half the time when people, like Infernoids, they banish all their monsters, they get like 10 or 11 monsters that are banished, times that by 500, that's gonna be like a heck ton. Like, this is OTK Central right here. Not only that, but with DREADSCYTHE, they mill their deck out first turn. Not mill their deck out, but barely get the last cards in their graveyard and have like 2 or 3 cards left in their deck. It's game over. Like, this is no doubt. Like, Infernoids and against this deck, they hurt. Because they abuse so much of this. Guess pretty much the meta, and that's the meta right now. It's sort of borderline, you know, this abuses it half much. Infernoids more than anything else, but you know. Celestial Sword EATOS, definitely. KS again. There's nothing. It's just so you can, just in case you need that that normal summon and you can't really set it and you don't feel comfortable with setting it. You do KS on one of their monsters because you have no monsters on the field, and if you have no monsters on the field, you would equip it to one of your opponents because you can do that, and you would set or normal summon KS and then they can't attack or it's unaffected by spells. So it's really good. Mistbody, just in case, like, they have lots of beaters on the field, they can attack over. You Mistbody one of your lower level monsters, or even Guardian EATOS or DREADSCYTHE, because sometimes their effects are negated, or sometimes they're too low attack. Shooting Starbow Seal, really good. Attacking directly is a must in this deck. You need this, but you run it at 1 because you can just recycle it with Hidden Armory. 3 DREADSCYTHE, self-explanatory. DREADSCYTHE gains 500 attack, becomes a huge, beefy destruction, then destroys everything. It's, yeah. This is why I love the deck. This scares your opponent. Like, heck, if you have a 10,000, 15,000 attack beater, I've had that on the field before, it destroys. Like, undeniably. And if they, like, Mirror Force, oh, nope, I'm coming back. And with even more attack. So, yeah. Vanities, just to stun your opponent. Call the Haunted to bring back EATOS from grave if Soul Carrier's not with you. And the last but not least for this deck, Triple Skill Prisoner. Now, a lot of people... This is a funny card. Like, I think this should be like $30. Just kidding, no. At least like 10 or 5. Because it's just a lot of the stuff targets nowadays. Monsters target. You know, Baxia, you get like, boom, shuffle 3 in the deck. If you shuffle DREADSCYTHE in the deck, it's pretty much game over for you. But you chain Skill Prisoner, either from your field or graveyard, and your opponent can't target that monster for the rest of the turn. And it's pretty much like, what are you going to do now? You can't target that monster. Most things do target, but, you know, you have Ignister and other stuff like that, that it gets over that, and, you know, that's why you have, like, stuff in the side deck for. So this is pretty much it. There is your main deck. You run no extra deck in this, but there is a side. I will show that. So pretty much that is it for that. And it works really well, I'm not going to lie. Starting with this, Guarded Treasure. This is just pretty much just cosmetic because, you know, because Raphael used Guardian Treasure, and this is Guarded Treasure, so. Looks really pretty. You could try running this in your deck, but it sort of would hurt you. And just MST, and you just lost 5 cards. But, good in Dark World. I think. Its cost. Okay, never mind. DDR. So, just in case you have that that EATOS is banished, just discard a card, or you can Hidden Armory this. Then you grab your EATOS, and then, boom, it's back on the field. So that's really nice. Or any other monster. Exchange, just cause. Because a lot of the stuff is just because Raphael used, and I'm just putting in for fun. But exchange, like, I've exchanged Taken Del Valkyrius when Necros was the thing, and they couldn't stop DREADSCYTHE, and they lost. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Another Celestial Sword, just in case you need the extra banishing power. Same thing with this. You need the extra banishing power. Destruction power, right here. Really nice. Double Dark Hole, I highly suggest. Even Regeki. I did have Regeki in this deck, but I traded it. So, MST, run at 3. There's actually less than 15 cards in here, so just run 3 of them. Horn of Heavens. I was going to replace them with Blackhorn, but for some reason these went up in price because of Magic Specters. The Horn of Heaven is a really nice card. It's pretty much shops. It's the Solemn Warning, but just for the summoning of monsters, and it's really good. And yeah, there's that for you. But I'd also suggest, because just in case, you should probably put in Blackhorns. You know, Blackhorns are also really nice. Malevolent Catastrophe. Just in case your opponent has clogged their field with floodgates, yeah, maybe like 1 or 2 of them. And again, the third Call of the Haunted and Torrential Tribute, I definitely put in the deck, because the reason why I'm not keeping it in the deck right now is because it's really damaged. I need to get a better looking Torrential. Anyway, there you go. thank you so much for this. This has been very special for me. As you know, this is like my all-time favorite. DREADSCYTHE, EATOS. This mat right here. Oh man, I had to give an arm and a leg for this mat. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is my all-time favorite deck. If you ever want to face me with this deck on like Dev Pro or whatnot, or just face me on Dev Pro or whatever, you know. I do play half decent decks, you know. I don't obviously have the meta. I used to have Necros at one point before it was banned and all that, but I sold it and whatever, but whatnot. Yeah, but I will be doing, every once in a while, I'll be doing decks that I find are decent, and you can actually play in a tournament or a local or something like that, you know. Yeah, like, rate, comment, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. I'd love to hear from you guys. I really would, because I need more input and what you guys like and what you guys want, and I have a lot of stuff I want to show to you, and it's gonna be a good next couple of months with the new sets coming out, the new year, the new movie. There's a lot of stuff coming out. Yeah, so thank you. It's been this most amazing deck. So there you go. We'll shine her for a little bit. And you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you.